Attention passionate Dallas Cowboys fans, the latest news indicates something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game, directly impacting the Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years is unfolding, and we're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. And let's help each other reach 8,000 subscribers by sharing with your friends. And fellow Dallas Cowboys fans, let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape, you know that the NFC East has been one of the most competitive divisions in recent years. The Dallas Cowboys, a franchise with a rich history and a loyal fan base, have been right in the middle of that fight, always looking to elevate their game and chase that elusive Super Bowl title. But this offseason, something truly intriguing has unfolded that could shake up the division's power structure. And it involves a player many of you know very well, Shilo Sanders, the son of none other than Dean Sanders, the legendary prime time himself, who has been making waves not just on the college football scene, but now also in the NFL. Recently, Shilo Sanders was cut from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers during the roster cuts. That happened every year in the NFL. Now, for those of you who follow his journey, this isn't exactly a surprise, but it is certainly a pivotal moment. Shilo, an electrifying safety and a fan favorite during his 2 seasons at Colorado, went undrafted in the 2025 NFL Draft, but managed to sign as an undrafted free agent with Tampa Bay. His preseason performances were a roller coaster moments of brilliance mixed with some controversy, like that viral ejection in the final preseason game after throwing a punch at Buffalo Bills tight end Zach Davidson, an incident that drew criticism, to say the least, from Buccaneers head coach Todd Bowles, who called it inexcusable. But even with that, Shilo's talent was undeniable. His instincts, ball skills, and fiery attitude kept him in the conversation. What is truly remarkable about this story isn't just the cut itself, but what Dean Sanders, his father, had to say during a recent press conference at Boulder. Dean, affectionately known as Coach Prime, has always been open about his pride in Shilo and his other children. But what stood out was how confident Dean was about his son's future, regardless of whether he lands on an NFL roster again or not. He described Shilo as a man of many talents who's going to be straight, no matter what happens in football. A huge statement coming from someone who has been through the highest levels of professional football and knows what it takes to succeed. Dean's words weren't just parental pride, they carried a message of resilience and adaptability, mentioning that he's prepared his kids for any eventuality, including life beyond football if that's where Shilo's path leads. And folks, that is where the story gets even more interesting, because Dean hinted that Shilo already has a plan in motion, a backup plan if the NFL doesn't work out this time around. A sign of a young man who isn't just relying on his athletic talent but also thinking ahead, preparing for a future where football might not be his only chapter. Let's take a step back for those of you who might not be fully caught up on Shilo Sanders' journey. He became a fan favorite at Colorado, not just for his on-field skills, but for his infectious personality and leadership qualities, finishing the 2024 season with impressive stats: 67 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a defensive touchdown, proving he belongs at a high level of competition. His energy and versatility made him a standout in the Pac-12, and many scouts considered him a potential NFL asset. Despite going undrafted, he signed with Tampa Bay, which was a surprising but exciting development for fans of the Sanders family. However, the NFL preseason was a mixed bag. Shilo showed flashes of brilliance, especially in the first 2 games, earning praise from the Buccaneers coaching staff. But the incident in the final preseason game overshadowed his efforts. His ejection after a punch thrown in frustration became a viral moment, and understandably, that didn't sit well with the Bucs coaching staff. Still, Tampa Bay's head coach Todd Bowles expressed some appreciation for Shilo's talent and effort before that incident, leaving the door open for a possible practice squad invite or a future opportunity. Now, here's where the NFC East comes into play, and specifically the Dallas Cowboys. Believe it or not, the Cowboys could be a perfect landing spot for Shilo if he's looking for a second chance. Owner and GM Jerry Jones has long been known for his belief in redemption stories and second chances. That's practically part of the franchise's DNA. And with the Cowboys' history of bringing in talented players who might have had rocky starts, adding Shilo Sanders could be a strategic move. It's not just about talent. It's about the potential to develop a player with high upside and a fiery competitive spirit. Think about the connection here. Jerry Jones and Dean Sanders have a history of mutual respect and admiration. Jones has spoken highly of Dean, especially after Sanders' impressive stint with the Cowboys from 1995 to 1999, where he established himself as one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. That relationship, plus the fact that Dean's current coaching role at Colorado has put him back in the spotlight, makes the idea of Shilo rejoining the Cowboys organization a real possibility, especially considering that the Cowboys have a well-regarded coaching staff capable of developing young talent and a culture that values grit and resilience. Shilo could thrive in that environment. But it's not just about the NFL. The Sanders family is deeply rooted in football culture, and Dean's influence extends beyond just playing. He has turned Colorado into a national story, reshaping the program, bringing in top recruits, and turning his team into a powerhouse. Shilo, being the oldest son, has been a key part of that transformation. His social media presence, personality, leadership skills, and on-field performance make him not just a player, but a potential influencer and leader for the team. And let's not forget the other options for Shilo outside the NFL. Dean has hinted that his son might consider returning to Colorado in some capacity, perhaps as a player, coach, or ambassador. The Buffaloes, under Dean's leadership, have become a destination for talented young athletes who want to be part of a winning culture. Shilo's familiarity with the program, his deep understanding of Colorado's system, and his popularity among fans could make a return a natural fit. Plus, with Dean's growing influence and the program's increasing visibility, there's a real possibility that Shilo could carve out a significant role there, whether on the field or in other capacities. Now, it's important to recognize that Shilo's NFL preseason showcased flashes of brilliance in games 1 and 2. He demonstrated the instincts, coverage ability, and physicality that caught scouts' eyes, made impactful plays, showed leadership, and proved he can hang with some of the best in the league. But the incident in the final game, the ejection, raised questions about discipline and temper management, issues that NFL teams always consider deeply. Still, the potential is undeniable. He's young, talented, and hungry, and if he gets another shot, he could be a steal for a team willing to see beyond that one moment of frustration. So, what does this all mean for the Cowboys? Well, if Jerry Jones and the coaching staff see the same potential we see, they might be weighing the benefits of bringing Shilo onto their practice squad. A low-risk, high-reward move. They could develop a player with NFL experience, a high football IQ, and a competitive edge that aligns with the Cowboys culture. Plus, having Dean's son in the fold would generate buzz and excitement among fans, media, and the locker room. It's a storyline that writes itself, a family legacy, second chances, and a team hungry for young talent. And for the fans, this isn't just about a player's journey. It's about the hope and belief that the Cowboys can continue building a roster that's young, talented, and resilient. We've seen the Cowboys do it before, turning around seasons, developing low-round picks into stars, and embracing players with a chip on their shoulder. Shilo Sanders fits that mold perfectly. His story isn't over yet, and the potential for him to be part of the Cowboys' future is something worth watching closely. In terms of what's next, the NFL is unpredictable. Teams are always looking for that hidden gem, that player with untapped potential who just needs a chance. Shilo's preseason performances, leadership, and attitude suggest he's ready for another opportunity. If Tampa Bay doesn't resign him to the practice squad or give him another shot, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys or another NFC East rival makes a move. With the division heating up and teams vying for dominance, adding someone like Shilo Sanders could be the difference maker. And beyond the NFL, don't forget about the impact Shilo could have at Colorado. Again, his return would energize the fan base, boost team chemistry, and add another layer to Dean's already impressive program. The Buffs have become a national story with their high-powered offense, tough defense, and charismatic leadership. Having Shilo back in Boulder could be a game-changer, not just for the team, but for recruiting, media attention, and the overall aura of the program. To wrap this all up, what we're witnessing is more than just a roster move or a young player's setback. It's a story of resilience, family legacy, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Shilo Sanders' journey is still very much alive. Whether he's on an NFL team or charting a new course elsewhere, the Cowboys, with their history of embracing second chances and their strategic mindset, could very well be the next chapter in his story. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all this? Do you think Shilo Sanders has what it takes to make it back to the NFL and thrive in Dallas? Or do you believe his future lies more outside of football, perhaps in coaching, social media, or a different career path? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more upgrades, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. We're just getting started, and the best is yet to come.